quick and fun recipe. Starts out with a 2-ingredient bread dough recipe, which is simply our Greek yogurt and our self-rising flour. This is a versatile recipe. We could stop it there. You could make pizza dough. I think I even saw a bagel variation. This one though, we're actually going to mix those, add in some vanilla, and make some air fryer donuts. So this will be a lot of fun. I'm excited about this one. We'll start off with our wet ingredients. That's going to be a cup of plain Greek yogurt, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and the vanilla would be omitted if you were going to use this dough for pizza dough or bagels, etc. Just to point that out again. And 1 1/4 cup of self-rising flour. Okay. Close our mixer, lock it into place, grab our shield, mix for 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so the mixer's gone on about low speed for 3 to 4 minutes. So we'll take it out of the mixer and onto a lightly floured surface to knead and cut into donut shapes. This dough is pretty sticky, so we'll probably need to add some more flour. And you can add more flour if you see that it's really sticky in your mixer, or if you choose to mix it by hand or in a food processor, because they offer all different methods of mixing. You can just add in flour as needed. I'm going to roll this out. I'm going to aim for between a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch. I'm pretty pleased with that thickness. So I'll take my biscuit cutter with a donut insert and start cutting donuts out. Once you finish cutting out your last donut from the dough, you can take the extras and ball it up again to create another layer to cut from. May not be quite as good as the first bunch, but you will use all the scraps. So that's kind of nice, so you don't just have this ugly leftover. I sprayed my air fryer basket, so I'm going to transfer my donuts and my donut holes to the basket. I ended up with a dozen donuts and obviously a dozen donut holes, including the odd one, which is the final one. It's a little bit bigger and a little different shape, but it'll taste just fine. Okay, we will turn our air fryer on to 375 and set the timer for 7 minutes. Check it. If it needs a little bit longer, let it go for 8. And the recipe says to flip it halfway through. I'm going to kind of watch them and see if I want to flip them or not. While our donuts are finishing up in the air fryer, we're going to make a glaze. The recipe that they listed makes quite a bit of glaze. I'm going to cut it in half because I'm going to dip my donuts rather than coat them completely. So I'm going to try half. I think that should be plenty. A cup of powdered sugar, a tablespoon of milk, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now you can mix with a fork or a little whisk, whatever your preference is and whatever you have available. If the glaze seems to be too thick, you can always add a little bit more milk. Our donuts are done. They look great. I'm going to let them sit in here and cool for a little bit so they'll be able to be handled while I finish up the glaze. Now that the donuts are out of the air fryer and our glaze is finished, we'll just start glazing our donuts. I'm just gonna dip it in, let it drip, give it a little swirl, and call it good. For a donut, it will be pretty much the same. If you want, you can always use a fork. Continue the process. Our donuts are finished and glazed. Half of that recipe was more than enough glaze, so you could even maybe try and dunk them again, I guess. You can tell if you count the donut holes that I had a couple. Quality control. Anyway, I hope you enjoy them.